Now, wizards, let's continue to look at the role of the chief. It was important to have a leader who would be able to make sure that the land was shared in a fair way and that the resources were not all used up. At first, the senior members of elders of the homesteads elected the leader. Because he was elected, the chief had to keep the support of the elders from different homesteads to stay in power. Over time, one of the sons of the chief became the next chief. It was not always the oldest son who became the next chief. It was the son of the wife who was known as the great wife. The great wife was specially chosen by the chief. If a chief treated an elder or his homestead unfairly or cruelly, the elder could simply take his family and their cattle and move away. Looking at the role of cattle. The cattle were the wealth of the homestead. Cattle were also needed for food, milk, and skins, marriage gifts, trade, paying tributes, known as taxes, starting homesteads, as well as sacrificing to the ancestors. Tools and weapons from iron to copper. Wizards, iron is a very hard metal. It can be used to make weapons and tools that can be used for a long time without breaking. Some early farming communities made tools out of iron. They were used for preparing the soil before planting. The early farmers also used iron to make weapons such as tips for spears. The metal workers of the region also mined copper. Copper is not as strong and hard as iron and cannot be used for weapons. The metal workers did use copper to make beautiful jewelry such as armbands. The jewelry was also used in their own community for trading. What is division of labor? Let's look at division of labor in men. The division of labor in a homestead was strictly according to gender and age. The men looked after the cattle and built huts and cattle's kraal. Crafts were shared with men working in wood, iron, as well as preparing the hides. Women and girls were not allowed to go into the area where the cattle kraal was. Now, division of labor for women. The roles of women were to look after the gardens, look after children, cook food, and also clean and repair the hut. The women also did the sewing, made pots, and weaved baskets. Pots were used to carry and storing milk and water. They were also used for cooking food, especially porridge. Other uses included brewing beer and storing food.